Hello and welcome to the Side One YouTube channel. My name is Ray, and in this video we're unboxing another product from WaveShare. Now, in a previous bot micro video, I did unbox this from WaveShare. This is a Raspberry Pi hat, which I've since modified and found it's still not really up to scratch. It's a 16 servo channel or 16 channel servo driver. In this we have another device. This is the box the two of them came in, and it's an audio door. So we've got a card and standoff. This is using M2 screws. I tend to use M2.5, so you can see the difference in those. And it comes with speakers. There's nothing else in the way. Okay, so let's unbox this to start. This is designed for a Raspberry Pi. I've got a Raspberry Pi 3 sitting here. I use it for a few experiments. My two Raspberry Pi 4s are inside robots. So what we have on here is connections for external speaker, for this plug, and that plug actually matches up nicely with their speakers. Very nice looking speakers. I don't know what they sound like yet. This plug winds up and plugs in here, and that works quite well. There's a headphone jack on this as well, a button which is connected to one of the GPIO pins, and it has two small microphones, one on each side, and right down the middle here we have the WaveShare it's a WM8960, which is an interesting chip, something that I'm going to look into a little bit later. So it uses the I2S standard to communicate between the chips on the Raspberry Pi and it, and then it uses I2C to control the volume control. Quite an interesting little design. So let's hook it up and see what it's like. So I've got a couple of screws in there already, top of my standoff, so I'll pull those off. A bit of debris then. Now it's another micro hat. That means it's designed to go onto a Raspberry Pi Zero as well. It also means it doesn't have to conform to the larger Raspberry Pi hat standard, which requires a EEPROM chip installed to actually tell the Raspberry Pi how to use it. The screws that it's supplied with would go through those holes. I don't know why they supplied them to standoff. Something else of note, the header for it has got the extended pins, so you can stack another board on top, like this one for example, and plug that in. And if I line it up correctly, you could plug that in and get two levels. But I'm not going to do that today. So just take those pillars. Okay. So for this, I am going to unwrap this and plug in the speakers. And let's go to the WaveShare website and have a bit of a look at what we've got. Okay, so the WaveShare website tells us how to install the drivers and the like, and gives us a little bit more of a rundown on what we've got here. So we've got the dimensions, the layout, and what pins we're using. The button is connected to P17 on the Raspberry Pi. And then we have the guide for installing the drivers. So the next thing I need to do is actually power up this Raspberry Pi. It's powered up now, and we need to do a sudo apt get update and a sudo apt get upgrade. So this is pretty much standard procedure for almost any install on a Raspberry Pi. You need to update the installation software and make sure your Raspberry Pi is up to date. Then we need to clone the driver. So I'm going to fire up VNC and connect to my Pi. And you can see here I've got the Pi up and running. So sudo apt get update. In a little while since I've created this one. Sudo apt get upgrade. Okay, so that took a long time to do the update, and then it did a reboot. So I was a few versions behind. Right, so let's go back and have a look at our instructions on setting up. So git clone https github.com WaveShare WM8960 audio hat. I'll copy that. So this will download the drivers from GitHub. So we need to install change into the new directory that's been created, install shell using the sudo command, and then do another reboot. And then we can check to make sure it's installed with the DKMS status. And from there we can have a look at the sound card. Oh, it will show us what the status is of the install. We can then check and make sure it's working. So let's get back and do that. I'm just going to move this over to another window so I can see better. So paste that first line, sudo, right, and need to execute a file that's in the current directory. Install.sh. So sudo reboot. So that'll reboot the Raspberry Pi. Looks like it's starting back up. Knowing by the, let's do that in the video. There's a little green flashing light down here. My charger might not be supplying quite enough current to keep this happy. Keeps reporting high voltage. And we're back up. Alright, so the next one is to check on its status. So we'll open the command prompt again. So it's sudo dkms status. Could not be found. Awesome. Let's remember the last commands, because I'm in the wrong directory. So I need to change into the driver directory. And it's still not there. Let's have a look and see what we've got in the way of audio options. I've only got AV jack and HDMI, so it obviously hasn't installed properly. Let's try that install command again. Sudo failed. You must manually run sudo dpkg configure -a to correct the problem. So it obviously needed some extra libraries that weren't included. Yeah, let's try that install again. It looks like it's progressing a bit better now. Okay, let's try our reboot this time. It has been added. Awesome. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Device profiles. The sound card 1 is added, but according to the documentation, should be saying WM8960 sound card 1, the version number, and install. So it's saying added. Interesting. Let's try A play -L and see what we get. It is definitely listed there. Ours is listed as which card? Okay, so somewhere along the line my recording stopped. So this has been a little more complex to set up. It hasn't selected it by default. I have got it to work. Let's have another little look. So to get it to work, let's record hardware 2. I'm not sure what the rest of the settings are, and it doesn't tell me in the manual or in the instructions here. It does say in the instructions, however, you can run ELSA Mixer, and ELSA Mixer will let you select. In fact, there's many options. The APlay command can only support WAV files. If you want to play MP3 files, you can install the MP3 123 tool. And there's also a GUI player. What's concerning me is that's not there. So let's see if we can fix that up. Back to VNC. I would have thought it would have installed the volume control for the GUI at the same time. Reboot to get that to work. Either that or it just didn't work at all. Let's keep switching back to Pulse Audio. Okay, I've had some issues with hotkeys. Some of the keystrokes that are used for ELSA Mixer have apparently been stopping my recording. F6 apparently pauses my screen capture. I think I've disabled that now. We'll see. Well, I can't disable the hotkeys, so I've got to be very careful whenever I pause a video or whenever I use F6. It's going to pause my recording. Okay, so I'm thinking that the mixer need to turn my volume down a little bit because I think it's recording speakers, and I'll turn the capture down a little bit and we'll see how that works. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Still a lot of noise in it. I don't know if that noise is coming from the playback section or if it's coming from the microphone recording. It is louder, it is audible now. Let me turn my audio filter off so you can hear it. Okay, so there is definitely a lot of noise in there, but at least it's working to a point. I think I need to play around with the drivers a little bit more, maybe reboot a couple more times and see how it goes. Once I can figure out the default setting for the audio, it'll be much better. Well, this video has gone longer than I anticipated, so I will leave it at that. If you like these videos, don't forget to click on like, subscribe and ring that notification bell. It's a full support, helps the channel a great deal and costs you absolutely nothing. It'll also let you know when I have the next video out. If you'd like to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon account and you can join my patrons with the link below and join my VIP, Go Lucky and my builders, Elmrolls45 and whatever. I also have a Discord server, so if you want to ask any more questions about this, you can either leave a comment in the video below or drop in the Discord. I'm on the Discord more than I am anything else, so yeah, leave a comment there. If I can't answer, someone else might be able to. And we'll see you in the next video.